Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. This video is about my first craft fair I had a few days ago, which was an exciting experience. I was for the first time selling my art in person and didn't really know what to expect. I asked myself questions like, what would sell the most? Would I sell anything at all? Will people like my art? I know I shouldn't bother what other people think of my art, but the thing is, if you want to become a full-time artist, it is kind of important what people think of your art. So yeah, I had these kind of thoughts the days before the craft fair. The things I used for my craft fair booth were pretty normal things. I went to shops to see what I could use to display my artworks and stationery. For storing my stickers, for example, I bought this wooden tea box, and to showcase the stickers and their transparency, I had bought this frame. But the only thing was that it was already broken and the shop hadn't another one, so I decided to buy it anyway because it fitted perfectly with the aesthetic I was aiming for. As you can imagine, I had all these inspirations from Pinterest, since it was the first time that I'm selling my art in person. I honestly wonder sometimes what I would do without Pinterest. It's a social media platform, even when it's not really a social media platform. However, it's the platform I love and use the most. One idea I took from Pinterest was to frame one of my favorite illustrations and to display it on my easel. I bought a frame with a vintage look since I really love vintage stuff, and a passepartout, the white frame you can see, to make it fancier. And that's how I was going to display this artwork, which was inspired by my trip to Pisa last year. For the other artworks, I wanted to have a wood panel. The thing was that I didn't find one the way I wanted it, so I had to do a little bit of joinery. The panel is from IKEA, and the plan was to screw a stick on so that it has a stand. But it was kind of challenging since it wasn't done by a professional, and I certainly made some mistakes. However, I know how to improvise, so I put a piece of wood on it just to cover it up. sometimes you can really see my Germanness. Is that even a word? I don't know. Yeah, in some cases I love to be really prepared just to save time. That's why I prepared the paper bags in advance, which are the packaging for the stickers and postcards. And because I totally screwed up when I ordered the bags, because as you can see they are way too big, I had to cut them in half and glue the bottom to close them. And it was a very sticky situation. Then I prepared my stamp, which I bought from No Issue. The best part of the stamp kit is the ink because it's soy based, I think, and without any toxic chemicals. I'm just trying to be as sustainable and green as possible with my small business. All my art prints and postcards, etc., for example, are made from recycled paper. And with every sale over 15 euros, even when I'm just selling digital items, I'm going to plant a tree in the Amazonas, Brazil. I know it's almost impossible to have a sustainable business in a capitalist system, but the least I can do is to give back what I have taken. So that's the reason why I'm doing all of this. Making this sign was a spontaneous idea. Since I messed up the wood panel with the screws and the piece of wood, I also messed up the first try of the sign. I think the whole universe was against me this day. But eventually I managed to create the sign the way I liked it on the second try. Finally arrived the day of the craft fair. We got up early and had some coffee, and then we drove to Charea, which was 40 kilometers away from Verona. Once we arrived, I started to build my stall, and I had already an idea how I wanted to display everything, but at the end you have to see what's the best solution. Unfortunately, there weren't many people on the fair on Saturday, but I didn't let it get me down. I had so much fun with my friend and was absorbing all the creative energy around. I also talked a lot with other creatives, admired their works, and heard some pretty interesting stories. One of our neighbors, for example, is from San Marino. She's the first person I've met that is from this mini country. I don't know if you know San Marino. It's basically a mini country inside Italy. And they are like 60,000, so not even that many people. Yeah, okay, it's a mini country. I also met two women who are from Australia and New Zealand. And the coolest part was that many of them started during the lockdowns, which is kind of ironic that some people found their passion during a pretty ugly time. On the second day, I changed some things, like putting the prices on the table and changing a bit the layout, because I noticed that I forgot these kind of things the day before. There were also a lot more people around, so I sold some things. But the most heartwarming part was when people made compliments on how beautiful they found my art and the things, and when they were interested in my inspirations, even when they didn't buy anything, but it was really a cool thing that the people made compliments. I also bought some cool things from the other creatives who were at this craft fair, like necklaces, earrings, and the ring. And yeah, that was my first craft fair, and I'm so happy that I had a wonderful experience and connected with amazing people. I will never forget this weekend.